You do not fear what you cannot see. That was the rule. For decades, German soldiers were trained to believe it. Artillery could be mapped. Tanks could be counted. Aircraft could be tracked. Every threat on the battlefield had a source you could locate, suppress, or destroy. Snipers? Snipers were an annoyance, a nuisance, a lone rifleman with limited impact. German doctrine treated them as rare specialists. Dangerous, yes, but not decisive. They believed morale broke from bombs and hunger, not from a single unseen man. And for years, that rule held. Until 1942. Until Stalingrad. Until German soldiers began dying without hearing a shot. Until men froze in doorways, crawled instead of walked, and refused to lift their heads above rubble. Until entire units halted because no one dared move first. That was the moment Germany realized something it had never planned for. The Soviets hadn't just deployed snipers. They had turned fear itself into a weapon. And at the center of that nightmare stood one man.
Vasily Zaitsev is 27 years old when he arrives in Stalingrad. He is not a hero. Not yet.
He grows up in the Ural Mountains, hunting wolves with his grandfather. He learns patience before he learns pride. He learns how to wait for hours without moving, how to read wind, how to disappear. Before the war, he serves in the Soviet Navy as a clerk, a pencil pusher, a nobody. But when Germany invades the Soviet Union in June 1941, the Red Army bleeds men at an unimaginable scale. By the summer of 1942, Stalingrad becomes the breaking point. The city is no longer a city. It is a skeleton of concrete, smoke, and fire. The Volga River burns with oil. Factories collapse into themselves. Buildings change hands dozens of times. The average life expectancy of a Soviet infantryman in Stalingrad is less than 24 hours. German forces of the Sixth Army believe victory is inevitable. They have better equipment, better logistics, better training. But they do not understand the terrain. Every ruined wall becomes a firing position. Every window becomes a threat. Every shadow might be watching. Zaitsev arrives with a standard Mosin Nagant rifle. No scope, no rank, no reputation. Within days, that changes. He kills his first German soldier at 800 meters. Then another. Then 3 in a single day. And something begins to shift. You are a German infantryman in Stalingrad. You step into the open for 3 seconds. You die. No warning, no muzzle flash, no sound you can locate. Men fall mid-step. Helmets snap back. Bodies collapse as if pulled by strings. The shot comes from nowhere.
Zaitsev works in pairs, spotter and shooter. He crawls through rubble at night. He memorizes firing angles by daylight. He fires once, then he moves. He understands something crucial. You are not killing soldiers, you are killing confidence.
German units begin reporting a new phenomenon: sniper paralysis. Movement stops, attacks stall, commanders cannot get men to advance. Zaitsev kills 32 confirmed soldiers in less than 1 month. Then he begins training others. The Red Army creates dedicated sniper schools inside the city. Young soldiers learn how to wait, how to breathe, how to let the enemy make the mistake. By November 1942, Soviet snipers in Stalingrad have killed over 7,000 German soldiers. Not with artillery, not with tanks, with patience. The Germans respond. They deploy counter-snipers. They bring in specialists. And then, according to Soviet records, they send their best. Major Erwin Koenig, head of a sniper school, a professional hunter of men. The duel lasts days. Zaitsev knows the rules. Koenig knows them too. They do not fire quickly. They wait. Minutes stretch into hours, hours into days.
Zaitsev notices a glint, sunlight off metal, a fake helmet mounted on a stick, a trap. He waits longer. Then he sees it, a sliver of movement, a breath too deep. The distance, less than 300 meters. Zaitsev fires. The German sniper does not move again. Whether Koenig existed exactly as described is still debated by historians, but this much is not. German morale collapses. Reports flood headquarters. Men refuse daylight movement. Officers are targeted first. Entire platoons halt operations. German command orders new rules. No movement without smoke. No officers standing upright. No use of obvious vantage points. No confidence in safety. And that is the realization. You are no longer fighting an army. You are fighting an invisible presence that watches everything you do. If you find this kind of forgotten history as fascinating as we do, we'd be honored if you'd hit that subscribe button. We believe these stories of courage, sacrifice, and genius deserve to be told. And by subscribing, you help us ensure they aren't forgotten.
What the Germans don't fully understand in 1942 is that this isn't just about kills. It's about time. Every pinned unit delays in advance. Every stalled attack buys the Red Army hours. Hours become days. Days become encirclement. Operation Uranus launches in November 1942. Soviet forces surround the German Sixth Army. Over 250,000 Axis troops are trapped. Snipers continue operating inside the pocket. Hunger spreads. Fear compounds. German generals later admit the psychological toll is unlike anything they've faced on the Western Front. Snipers force tactical evolution across the Wehrmacht. Training manuals change. Urban warfare doctrine is rewritten. But it is too late. Stalingrad becomes the first complete destruction of a German field army. The war shifts. From this point forward, Germany retreats, and the silent nightmare spreads to every front. Vasily Zaitsev survives the war. He records 225 confirmed kills, including 11 snipers. He is wounded by a mortar blast, but regains his sight. After the war, he returns to civilian life, works as an engineer, lives quietly. He dies in 1991. For decades, his story lives in fragments, memoirs, training manuals, whispers. But his real legacy is larger than numbers. He proves that modern war is not only about machines, it is about psychology, about patience, about breaking the enemy's belief in safety. To this day, sniper doctrine around the world traces back to Stalingrad. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. Every click tells the algorithm this piece of history is worth remembering. We're dedicated to rescuing these forgotten stories from the archives. If you want to join us on this mission, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment with your city or country and tell us if someone in your family served. Thank you for ensuring that Vasily Zaitsev and the thousands of unnamed Soviet snipers of Stalingrad do not disappear into silence. They deserve to be remembered.